Today I'm going to show you how to fix a collar on a button-down shirt. Previously I did a video on how to fix a bishop collar, so today I'm going to do a video on how to fix an English collar on a shirt. Stay tuned. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel Luyasi. Like, share and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media handles displayed on the screen. Stay tuned for this tutorial. Okay, but first things first, before you cut the collar, you're going to take the neck round. So I'm going to place my tape at this end of the placket, then I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch and measure the neck round. So it's from these measurements that I will now determine how I'll cut the collar. So I'm placing my tape. Once you're taking the measurements, you don't need to stretch it, you just need to place it on the fabric and get the neck round measurement. So now we have 19.5. This is 19.5, so that's our neck round. So now I folded the gum stay into two. This is a collar gum. This is called a collar gum. For more details about the collar gum, you can hit me up. I'll show you the price and where you can get it. So now we have a neck round of 19.5. 19.5 divided by 2, that's 9/3. So I'm going to fold the gum stay into two. Then I'm going to place my 9/3. This 9/3 should be around here. So this is the position. 9/3. I'm going to divide it into two. That will give us about around here. So from this position, I'm going to take up my collar by about 2¼ inches. So now from this position, I'm going to curve from this midpoint. I'm going to curve it to join this 2¼ inch at the stop part. Then I'm going to take it up by 1 inch. 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 Then I'm going to follow this curve from here now. I'm going to follow this curve it towards the position. Curve it towards the position. From here, I'm going to curve it. And I'm going to cut. This is our collar stand. This is our collar stand. And from here, I'll cut it. I've cut out the collar stand. So this part now that is curved, I'm going to place it like this. Once I place it like this, I'm going to curve here, get the curve of this upper part. Once I trace the curve, I'm going to go back from this end of the collar stand. I'm going to go back by 1 inch. So I'll mark that 1 inch here. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to mark this curve, mark it down like this, mark it down like this. Then I'm going to, depends on how wide I want the collar to be, I'm going to take this up. Normally I use 2½ inches for the collar because I like my collar to be a little bit wide. So I use 2½ inches. So I'm going to mark that 2½ inches. Then I'm going to curve it a little out like this. Then from this side, I'm going to go up by 1½ inches from this position. Then from this 1½ inches, I'm going to connect this 1½ inches to this 2½ inches. So from here, I'm going to connect it with a curve. So this is our collar. I'm going to cut it now. Okay, so you're going to press the gum stay on the collar, making sure you iron it properly. As you can see, I'm going to press it on the collar. I'm going to press it. I've cut out the collar. This is the collar stand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold this side. When I fold it, I'm going to press it like this. Press this side like this. When I press it, So you press this other side to the gum stay. So now I've cut out a piece for the collar. This is a piece, an identical piece for the top collar. So I'm going to use, this is a piece for the collar. I'm going to use this to turn the collar. I'm going to use this to turn the collar stand. So what I'm going to do now, this is the part of the collar that I fixed. I ironed the collar stay. This is the other piece I'm going to use to turn it. So I'm going to take, this is the down part, this is the up part. So I'm going to place this under the sewing machine and start stitching. Now when you're stitching around this gum stay, you're going to ensure that there's a little bit space. You don't sew directly close to the gum stay. Make sure that you leave a little space after the gum stay, so that when you're turning the fabric, it's going to turn properly. So I'm going to stitch, I'm going to stitch, I'm going to stitch. Then I'm going to take a piece of thread for you to ensure that there's a sharp edge. When you turn the collar, it turns and there's a sharp edge. You're going to take a piece of thread like this, folded into two. Then a stitch before you get to the end of the collar, you're going to carry this piece of thread. You're going to place it. This is quite optional, but for you to get a very good tip at the collar, you're going to place this under the needle. Ensure that you get it at the needle. Then you bring your presser foot down. Then you take it one step front. Then you turn it. This other end that you took out, you're going to take it to the other side like this. Then you're going to stitch. So when you're stitching, ensure that you leave a little space close to the collar stay and don't stitch directly on top of the collar. I'm going to stitch, I'm going to close it. I'm going to close it. When you get to this point, when you're stitching, when you get to the end of the collar tip, the other end of the collar tip, about a stitch away from the edge, you're still going to carry this. This is a thread folded into two. I'm going to raise the presser foot. Then I'm going to take it under the collar. Make sure it gets to the needle, so it's close to the needle. So a stitch away from the where I will turn, I've placed the thread in between the needle and the distance. Then I'm going to stick one more stitch. Then I'm going to turn it. Then this end of the thread, I'm going to take it inside like this. When I take it inside, I'm going to make sure it's inside. Then I'm going to stitch. So I'm going to trim the excess. It's better you trim the excess so that when you turn the collar, it's going to rest well and it's going to lay flat. That's the essence of this trimming. So I'm going to trim the unnecessary excess, leaving about a 1/4 inch allowance. Then I'm going to turn it. You see that thread that we left, the essence of it is, as I'm turning it now, I can stretch it and it's going to give me a good tip around the collar, the edge of the collar. It's going to give me a good tip around this area. So I'm going to take this collar now to the ironing table, and after giving it a good press, I'm going to attach the collar stand. Okay, so now this is the collar. So I'm going to stitch on top of the collar about a 1/4 inch round the collar. So I'm going to place it under the machine like this. So I'm going to stitch. Okay, so you're going to ensure that the stitching is straight. Turn it from here and you follow it up, making sure that you get it straight and stitch. Okay, so these are collar. These are collar stand. The one I fused the interfacing. These are the pieces I'm going to use to turn it. So I've notched the middle part. So I'm going to carry. This is the part that has the gum stay. Let me turn it. This is the part that has the gum stay. I'm going to carry these pieces without the gum stay. This side that doesn't have the gum stay, I'm going to place it on this side that has the gum stay. Then this side that has the gum stay, I'm going to turn it with the good side facing up. Then I'm going to place this one on this. So I'm sandwiching the collar in between the two, the collar stand and the piece that I'm going to use to turn it. So I'm going to turn it towards this direction. When I turn it towards this direction, then I'm going to start stitching from the middle. I'm going to place it under the machine. I'm going to place it under the machine like this. Then I'm going to stitch. So the gum stay is going to serve as a guide. So it's going to guide me as I stitch. So I'm going to place this here. I'm going to place this here. Then I'm going to align this one here, align it here, turn it, making sure I get it around the curve. Turn it towards this direction. So you stitch here, join it on the other side, making sure you follow the curve, you follow the edge of the gum stay, and you sew it and you turn it, ensuring that you catch it at the right spots. Then when you reach here, you back stitch. Okay, so this is the collar. This long side now, you are going to take it, and this long side you're going to take it and place it at the back of the shirt. This is the bad side of the shirt. You're going to place this long side here, then you're going to put it under the machine. When you put it under the machine, make sure you align it, ensuring that it tallies with what you're sewing. Then you're going to sew it. Now you're going to sew exactly where this side stops, but you're not going to stitch on top. If you stitch on top, there will be no way to turn it on the other side. So I'm going to take this excess, I'm going to follow it like this, stitching it under, ensuring I don't stitch on top of the other fabric on top. So you're going to maneuver it round. Don't stretch the fabric, just make it just so smoothly. No need to stretch the fabric. So I'm going to pass it around like this, stitch it round like this, ensuring that you don't stitch on top. Take it to the side like this, and ensure that this other side is aligned so that it won't be excess and it won't be small. So I'm going to start from this middle part, stitch it at the edge, take it down to this spot, take it down to this spot at the edge. Now you curve it, make sure you're sewing straight, make sure you're sewing it straight. Then you can now carry your scissors and push this one inside, ensuring that you catch it inside. Just push it inside like this. Then once it's inside, you stitch on top like this. Stitch on top like this. Then now you're going to cover, use this one to cover this initial stitch just slightly. Cover the initial stitch just slightly. I'm going to cover it just slightly, ensuring that your stitch is very straight. Okay, ensure that you stitch it at the edge. You can use your scissors to push this side inside. Push it inside, make sure you get it at the edge. Then you stitch the top. Stitch the top. Stitch it to the other side.